inside the art-filled modernist home of Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Hey guys, welcome back to More Life Luxury channel. Today we are going to look at the art-filled modernist home of Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz, also known as the Dreamland. But before we dive into the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and click the bell notification icon so you get notified each time we post new videos. Without any further ado, let's get to the video. Razor House, the spectacular cliffside estate designed by Wallace E. Cunningham in La Jolla, California, has been called a magnum opus, an architectural masterpiece, and America's coolest home for more than a decade. Alicia Keys and her husband, acclaimed music producer Kasim Dean, aka Swizz Beatz, have opted to call the property where they and their two kids, Egypt and Genesis, now reside Dreamland since purchasing the Modernist treasure in 2019. The nearly 11,000 square foot home, which overlooks the Pacific Ocean and is said to be the inspiration for Tony Stark's futuristic bachelor pad in the Iron Man films, is a place to create dreams and to be bold enough to dream your wildest dream. For us to even be here is the wildest dream, according to Keys. That dream took a long time to become a reality. For 8 years, Dean used a picture of Cunningham's one-of-a-kind masterpiece as his phone screensaver. The multi-level manse, called after the nearby Razor Point Trail, arrived and gone from the market during that time, but the producer remained optimistic. He says, "I was low-key manifesting it." Dean was overjoyed when the couple's real estate agent, Stephen Sweeney, contacted to inform him that the house was once again available. He shouts, "When your screensaver comes to life, it's incredibly wild." Nonetheless, he was concerned that his wife, who was born and raised in Manhattan's Hell Kitchen neighborhood, would oppose to transfer to California. What's worth mentioning that Empire State of Mind, a 2009 collaboration with Jay-Z that has become the unofficial song of the city that never sleeps, is one of Keys' biggest and most appreciated successes to date. Dean, a Bronx native, declares, "She's Miss New York. They should construct a statue of her for the new Statue of Liberty." Just about the famous residence, Cunningham, coincidentally, uses the word sculpture. He claims that every wall in this house, every inch of it, is sculpture. These lovely S-shapes, these chevrons down the mountain, curvatures floating through space above your head, it resembles sculpture more than building, and he makes it plain that is very essential to me. It's one of my most treasured possessions. While the layout is worthy of awe, it wasn't until the pair spent a date weekend exploring the estate at the invitation of the previous owner that Keys began to envision her life there. The sight of parasailers soaring over a neighboring mountain made the singer breathless during a morning meditation session, she claims. "In that moment, I felt like I was seeing a magnificent metaphor, and I didn't want to ever forget how endless we are and how the unimaginable may happen. That was the final straw for me. I was kidnapped." Following their acquisition of the property, the pair set out making it their own. Dean reached out to Kelly Behan, an interior designer, via Instagram. "When I got this DM, I thought to myself, am I being punked? Is it possible that someone is making a joke on me?" Behan says, "We had never met before." Dean, unbeknownst to her, had been a lifelong admirer of her work, checking her Instagram profile for inspiration daily. "There are a lot of designers who know how to place expensive stuff in your house," he continues, "but the spirit is absent. Kelly is a soulful person. She is also patient." Behan had to deal around pandemic restrictions. Most of the collaboration took place remotely, as well as the power couple's jam-packed schedules. In just 1 week in September, Alicia Keys debuted her new single, La La, at the MTV Video Music Awards, her husband's birthday, and held a private party to celebrate her new album. Dean, who was just named one of the Time magazine's 100 most influential people of 2021, was also in charge of the current chapter of Versus. The couple also managed to get in a twirl at the Met Gala. The cantilevered edifice, which was completed in 2007, is made up of floor-to-ceiling glass, white concrete, groomed courtyards, and floating staircases. Behan used wood features, Moroccan wool rugs, and seats upholstered in soft fabrics like shearing and cotton velvet for a family-friendly feel. Golden sands, caramel browns, and buttery cognacs dominate the palette, which complements the scenery. The interiors are basic and timeless, Mahan explains, later adding, "It was never going to be about attempting to upstage the natural surroundings, the building, or the art." Dean and Key's art collection, which spans 20 years and includes more than 1,000 pieces, is as impressive as it is impressive. Years ago, the couple decided to focus on African American and African artists such as Kehinde Wiley and Lynette Yadam Boki, as well as Barclay L. Hendricks and Henry Taylor. They also have the greatest collection of Gordon Parks photographs in private hands. "He feels like a grandfather to us," Key says of the renowned photographer. "It's incredibly emotional for me to be able to preserve his collection together and have it dwell in the same home of Black artists." Alicia and Chasm regard themselves not only as collectors of art, but as caretakers of the culture, says Thelma Golden, director and head curator of the Studio Museum in Harlem. "I've watched their collection develop over the years as their perspectives has widened and expanded to produce a collection that truly represents breadth and depth of work being made by Black artists," she continues. Dean, a member of the Brooklyn Museum's board of directors, and Keyes also get together to be in close quarters with other artists. Dean boasts, "I love that 90% of the art in the house is by artists who are now our friends. We've had a meal with them, they've partied at our place, and they've stayed the night with us. For us, it's not a transaction." A fleet of luxury audios, a recording studio, and 5 stunning Deanna Lawson photos are tucked away in the subterranean garage and adjoining lounge, Dean's favorite zone. It's not uncommon to see the producer here with a cigar in his mouth or skating around on quad skates while listening to classic 70s R&B. "I don't call it a man cave because my wife and I share it equally," he explains. "We refer to it as the adult floor." "It's nothing like you think," Cunningham, who has made friends with the Dean family, adds. "When you look at a house like this, you may imagine the people who live there are stiff, but they aren't. They're having a good time running about. This place hasn't daunted them in the least." Derek Adams' memorizing homage to leisure, Floater 74, hangs in the formal dining room over a bespoke ebonized oak table by Kelly Boone Studio, Afra and Tobia Scarpa's vintage African chairs, as well as Jordan Castile's vivid Felu and a multimedia drawing by Nigerian-American artist Toyin Iju Odutola, Softly Amaze. African sculptures abound, including a prized vintage Bega Nimba ceremonial shoulder mask from the early 1900s. "I witnessed her finish that piece right in front of my eyes," Dean recounts, pointing to one of the 2 outstanding Obutulas in the library music room. "She was planning on getting rid of that piece, and I told her, 'Toyin, I don't believe you should. That has the potential to be very special.'" The room also includes Key's first baby grand piano, which she received as a gift from the record label that signed her when she was only 16 years old. Her older son is currently playing it. Keyes marvels when Egypt is practicing piano, he has a Basquiat behind him and the Toyin in front of him. He absorbs this greatness without even realizing it. Keyes and Dean are well known in the industry for their famous house parties. They are excellent hosts who don't need an excuse to throw a party. As soon as it's safe to do so again, they're all too quick to throw open the doors to Dreamland. The core of a song or something we've made is to make people feel good and appreciated. That is what our work is about, according to Keyes. And that's exactly how we want you to feel when you walk inside our house. We want you to feel loved, safe, and comfortable. We want you to enjoy your meal. We want you to be motivated. That's all for today's video, and thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'll see you on another one.